Halfway through 2024, the dreams of many caterers have been shattered in China. Data shows that in the first half of this year, more than 1 million catering companies have closed down across the country, equivalent to last year's total. In previous years, the period from summer to National Day was the golden period for the catering industry. But the situation is quite different this year. Since May, many restaurants have closed down, including many time-honored and larger restaurants that have been in business for more than 10 years. Even in university towns crowded with people in previous years, many shops have not been spared. Another hotel in Haidian District, Beijing, with an investment of more than 1 million yuan, closed down today. The restaurant is located near the university town, and the decoration is very good. Why did it close down? The main reason is that students like cost-effective restaurants and high-quality and low-priced restaurants. Such better decorated and higher-grade restaurants will definitely have higher prices and are not suitable for students. It's reported that hotpot restaurants are in a tough situation amid fierce competition. At the end of 2023, there were 410,000 hotpot restaurant companies in the country, but by the end of July 2024, the number had dropped by nearly 10,000 in half a year. Many hotpot restaurants are poorly run and suffer heavy losses. A friend engaged in secondhand recycling in the catering industry revealed that he recycled equipment from several hotpot restaurants in May alone. Another hotpot restaurant has closed down in Tianjin. The owner has lost nearly $120,000 in just 5 or 6 months. How is everyone's situation when they open and prepare to open a hotpot restaurant? Indeed, every year the hot summer is the peak period for the closure of hotpot restaurants. But this time, the main reason for the closure of this hotpot restaurant was that the investment was too large. The store was more than 1,000 square meters and couldn't survive within a few months of opening. The location is still in the central area of Binhai New area, and the rent is very expensive. Many people know that restaurant owners are very cautious nowadays and generally do not dare to invest so much easily. The outside world has also noticed that although entrepreneurs have always favored highly standardized categories such as tea and coffee, their growth is also slowing down this year. Videos shot by netizens show that in Yiwu, Nanjing, there are 41 milk tea shops in the milk tea street, but 1/3 of them have closed. This is Nanjing, Yiwu, small commodity city adjacent to the university town, subway station, and gourmet night market. It's an important location in Nanjing's catering industry. In August last year, 41 milk tea shops opened here. This year, there are only a dozen left. In a video, the owner who purchased second-hand coffee machines expressed her helplessness and anxiety about the cafe's operating difficulties. She also showed off the large number of machines she purchased. This is the tip of the iceberg in my warehouse. I have more than 140,000 worth of goods here. Now that you have decided to open a store, you must go all out. If you really can't hold on anymore, then consider withdrawing, right? I really don't have the money to buy these equipment anymore. Now, even high-end equipment is piled up.
整个4月有超过20家烘焙店让我去回收。
Throughout April, more than 20 bakeries asked me to recycle. The reasons for closure vary. Some cannot pay the rent, some have just graduated and failed to start a business, and some have partnered with best friends and ended up falling out. More often than not, they are defrauded of money by franchise stores because they don't understand anything. As the economic environment deteriorates, more and more luxury hotels are facing the situation of being transferred. Recently, there have been many reports of the transfer or auction of luxury hotels in various places. Taking Beijing as an example, the Sofitel Beijing Hotel in the city center is on the market for sale with a price tag of nearly US $400 million. The hotel has a strategic location only 4 kilometers away from Tiananmen Square in the Forbidden City. However, due to debt pressure on the property owner, it had to be transferred. However, this situation is not unique to Beijing. Similar stories are happening across the country. In Chongqing, the top luxury hotel in China, Banyan Tree Chongqing, will also be auctioned with a starting price of nearly US $100 million. The auction assets include the Banyan Tree and hundreds of unfinished villas. There is a high-end restaurant in Tianjin that has closed down. It invested US $220,000 and all the equipment is very high-end. The outside world has also noticed that in the past 2 years, the recycling of secondhand kitchenware has gradually become a new trend. What is secondhand kitchenware? It's kitchen equipment used in restaurants or snack bars that is resold, just like the secondhand car market. Many secondhand equipment recyclers were originally catering people, but later switched to equipment recycling. They found that this industry has lower risks and more stable profits. For example, 2 bosses in Shanghai specialize in secondhand tableware recycling. Their warehouse covers an area of 4,000 square meters and is filled with various secondhand tableware and equipment, including ice cream machines, display cabinets, 6-door refrigerators, etc., imported from Japan. The price is very high if an operator wants to buy new machinery. For example, a new ice cream machine costs about US $8,000, while a secondhand one sells for US $1,400. The recycling price of these equipment is also very low, and the ice cream machine may only cost a few $100s. The price of a new display cabinet is about US $3,000. A second-hand one is only sold for US $900, and the recycling price is only more than US $300. This store was only open for 20 days and lost 500,000 yuan. This is the most regrettable store I've ever seen since I started recycling. According to the owner, there are various unused products for sale at low prices in the store, including electric fans, electronic scales, chopping boards, tables, armchairs, etc. There are also some big-ticket items at very favorable prices. It's reported that due to the sluggish consumer market, the number of customers in shopping malls in many places in China has decreased significantly. Some shopping malls in Guangzhou have gone in the opposite direction, raising rents, and some have even doubled rents, leaving many restaurants with no choice but to close their doors. Due to the sluggish business, these restaurant owners could not pay the rent, water, or electricity bills, and the property locked up the equipment. In the end, they had to contact equipment recyclers for disposal. Beijing's catering industry isn't doing much better. Industry insiders revealed that he recycled 42 hot pot restaurants in Beijing in just 1 month, setting a record. Last year, most of the ones he recycled were ordinary brand hot pot restaurants, but this year they are mainly franchise stores. Another recycling boss said he had recycled more than 20 different types of restaurants in 1 month, and the reasons for closing these shops varied. Some people open noodle restaurants, but because the rent is too high, they make no money in less than a year and have to close down. Some people borrowed money to join the snack bar and ended up losing money. There is also a veteran caterer who has been in the business for more than 10 years. Due to poor business, they could only be transferred, and the equipment's packaging films had not yet been removed. Company executives also opened a Western restaurant with an investment of US $280,000. All the equipment was used for less than 3 months and was also resold. Some people in the industry pointed out that in fact the phenomena of recycling secondhand catering equipment is not only found in China. During the economic downturn in the US and Japan, when people were actively starting businesses, this kind of secondhand market also appeared. By buying and reselling secondhand equipment at low prices, people not only reduce the cost of starting a business, but also give more people the opportunity to enter the catering industry. This trend is particularly evident during economic downturns. When the economy fluctuates and industries shift, the secondhand market grows rapidly. All secondhand industries are good. What is the reason for this? The first point is the seller. In the past 3 years, the bosses should all know that these are the most intense years for catering entrepreneurship in China in decades. Many people are doing the same thing. For example, many people are selling hot and sour noodles. I opened a shop today and made money. Next week, 20 hot and sour noodle shops were opened. Some bosses work across industries. When others make money in this industry, they will also work in it, resulting in a high store closure rate and a short survival time. So what should we do? These kitchen equipment, such as the hot and sour noodle machine, were only bought half a year ago. It's so new, why would you want to throw it away? In this way, a seller's market emerges. The second point is the buyer. As mentioned just now, this market is still very active. If you close it, I will open it. When I open a store, I want to buy secondhand equipment to save the cost of starting a business. Buyer friends want to save as much money as possible to start a business at a low cost and hope to buy some good new equipment with a small amount of money. The essential reason is that everyone is very cautious about their money. This is during the economic downturn, the common mentality among entrepreneurs. However, as the market cools, used equipment sales have also struggled. Last year, a second-hand equipment recycler concluded, open for the first 6 months, closed for the second 6 months. However, the situation in 2024 will be even more severe. Data shows that in the first half of this year, the number of new catering companies nationwide was 1.31 million, a significant decrease from 1.68 million in the same period in 2023. The number of catering company registrations in popular industries such as hot pot, tea drinks, and baking has dropped significantly, among which the number of hot pot related companies has dropped by more than 7,000. Fewer new catering companies are entering the industry, and second-hand equipment recyclers are also struggling. The person in charge of second-hand catering equipment said that in the first half of this year, the number of recycled equipment tripled compared with the same period last year. But sales dropped by 20%, and the equipment turnover speed also extended from 2 to 3 days last year to a week. The second-hand recycling business is tough this year. We have been receiving goods since the second half of last year. The goods in the warehouse have piled up like mountains, and thousands of square meters of space have been filled. However, sales were very low and far from the expected standard. Competition in the current second-hand market is very fierce, and the pressure within the industry is increasing. 4 of our peers have closed down in the past month, and we have recycled 2 of their equipment. I believe this is just the beginning. In the following year, more peers in the second-hand recycling industry will be unable to continue, and many companies may be eliminated. In addition, Liu Hongbing, head of a Shanghai company specializing in recycling high-end catering equipment, also said that both the sales price and sales volume of the equipment have declined. An oven that sold for $5,600 last year can only sell for $4,200 this year. To make matters worse, restaurant operators often buy used equipment when expanding or replacing equipment, but this year this has decreased significantly. Outsiders believe the current Great Depression in the catering industry is closely related to the economic downturn and the significant reduction in people's spending power. At the same time, economic experts said that the continued decline in China's consumption shows that economic fluctuations have begun, and the government must take measures as soon as possible to reverse this trend. It's reported that the consumption data of these 4 first-tier cities in China, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, declined significantly in June 2024. Analysis pointed out that residents have become more cautious about consumption due to declining employment and income expectations. Tianfeng Securities' research report revealed that consumption in first-tier cities dropped significantly in June. There is a signal to pay attention to. No one is consuming in first-tier cities. Physical stores on the street have little customer traffic, and their bosses say, it's hard to do business. Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong, and Shenzhen are not ideal throughout June. The growth rates of retail sales of consumer goods were negative 6.3%, negative 9.4%, negative 9.3%, and negative 2.2% respectively, all of which were negative growth. The weakness in consumption in first-tier cities is most obvious in the catering industry. There are no queues at those internet celebrity restaurants in Shanghai now. This restaurant, called Panda Hot Pot, was advertised by celebrities before and was once a popular shop. However, it has been closed down one after another since last year. Shanghai's retail sales in the accommodation and catering industries also performed poorly, decreasing 2.5% yearly from January to April. The situation in Beijing, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou is also relatively sluggish, lower than the national average. In the catering industry, the situation has already reached a relatively serious level. Some netizens took real-life photos of the Bund at Nanjing Road pedestrian street. We can see that many shops in the city center are closed, which is too depressing. This is a small pedestrian street in Shanghai. There are almost no people there. It's 7 o'clock in the evening and it's as quiet as the countryside. Do you know how difficult it is to have a physical store now? This shop, which was a tea house last year, is now a foot washing shop. It's not open today either. Basically, except for pharmacies, nail salons, barbershops, and KFC, everything else has closed down. And over there, a snack bar I often went to also closed down. Many stores may change owners every quarter. It's too difficult to open a physical store now. Indeed, official data shows that the overall consumption performance in first-tier cities in the year's first half is still lower than expected. Between January and May, the annual growth rate of total retail sales in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong, and Shenzhen were lower than last year. In addition to these four cities, Tianjin, Hangzhou, Xiamen, Ningbo, and Nanjing also had lower annual growth rates in total retail sales in the first half of the year. Netizens said that beef, mutton, and milk prices are now collectively reduced, and the consumption downgrade has spread to first and second-tier cities.
今天收了2家小餐馆。
Chinese people believe that food is the first priority for the people. If we start to save money on food, the consumption downgrade may be serious. As we all know, beef prices fell for more than half a year, and the price fell to the price of pork. Now, even the price of milk has dropped, and for the first time, it's sold below the cost of production or purchase. This results in losing money on every item sold. This is still a problem in the raw material market, and the situation in the catering service industry is even more serious. Currently, catering franchises and tea shops in many cities have pursued price reductions to ensure quantity. However, the result is that no one buys the top catering products after the price reduction, and the 10 yuan blind box of leftovers has become a hot seller. As many industry experts have said, if we want to break the current situation, we must increase production capacity and boost consumption. But stimulating consumption has been talked about for so long, and achieving results is easier said than done.